back again.
We are back again, episode 4, man. Hey,
So
we're doing
excited.
this. We're doing this, man. Episode 4, 4 weeks in. It doesn't even feel like 4 weeks, bro. It
Nah,
doesn't really feel like four
nah.
weeks. Uh, we got Reece and Charles in the building. Erase the Chalk basketball show, like we just said, episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
My guy Reece, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, how's
Ready
your
to talk
weekend?
about all this crazy stuff. My weekend was
How,
great. My
it was
weekend was
great.
awesome.
Yeah. I know we were talking offline here. Barely trying to make I'm trying to make it. I'm very tired. It was a busy weekend. Like I said offline, got high school tryouts coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So getting prepared for that. But like I said, man, I'm ready to go. Ready to go. A lot of activity, a lot of stuff going on in the NBA world, man. We're gonna get into a lot of stuff. A couple surprises. And let's start off hot right now, man. Tell the people what we getting into right now.
Okay, all right. I'm sure if you guys are tuning into this show, you're already basketball fans. And if that's the case, you've probably already seen on Instagram or Twitter or whatever social media you choose to follow that there have been these posts here and there saying Dark Horse MVP Paul George.
Yes.
Here and there. And then clips of him making some insane shots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the Clippers have just put together a 7-game win streak. They went from being in the basement of the East to looking like an actual team.
Yep.
So first off, I'd like to say I love to see PG-13 looking like PG-13. Okay.
Yes.
That MVP year of his was amazing. Okay. I think people don't ever think about Paul George with enough credit. I think people think about him as an access piece for a lot of teams. He's been a baller for a long time. Okay.
Yes.
And I love seeing people, especially because he's playing in LA now and people have to pay attention to him.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge market. It's so much fun to see him balling like that. But it does raise the concern. What does this look like when Kawhi's back? Because let's be honest, they brought Kawhi into LA for the purpose of beating the Lakers.
Yes.
Okay? It's been a battle for LA since Kawhi and LeBron got there. If Kawhi can't sustain this kind of drive, okay, and the Clippers don't look as good, what do you do as a team? Okay, what do you say? You as a coach specifically, what would you say that we just had this super talented guy come back, but we don't look as good?
Man, so two things, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going off of what you said about Paul George. Yes, I agree with you 100%. I think seeing Paul George play great basketball is good for basketball. It's good for basketball fans because, years before, we were talking about Paul George as being a top 5 player in the league. And this is when he was with Indiana Pacers. And especially those battles against, Miami Heat back in the day, going against LeBron James, and then ultimately raising his level of play after that, because experience helps, you know what I mean? And Paul George looks just like that. Honestly, he looks better because he's more mature. His body's more filled up. And I think coming off of last year, having a great playoff run, getting to the Western Conference Finals, man. Getting to the Western Conference Finals, losing, I believe, in 6 games. Can you imagine if Paul George would have got that Clippers team to the NBA Finals for the first time in their franchise history? Who knows? Who knows? Would they have given the Bucks a lot more problems? I don't know, because I think Phoenix was the better matchup, but at the same time, Reggie Jackson was playing well. Paul George, obviously, Terrence Mann, but he was young, so I think the Bucks have probably had one either way because of experience, and you saw them against the Suns. But to answer your second part, man, with Kawhi, I mean, if he comes back, right, and we don't know when he's coming back, but if let's say he comes back and they go on a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't judge it because it's Kawhi coming back and they have to get used to it. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, a 5-game losing streak is a 5-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
If that does happen, you have to ask yourself as a general manager, as a head coach, you have to come to a conclusion on where does your basketball team go from here. Now, let's say after that 5-game losing streak, they lose another one, and then you're like, it's Kawhi Leonard. He's a former champion.
Yeah.
Let's give him another week of it. Let's say they go now 2-4, 2-3 that next week or whatever it is. The chemistry is not where it should be. Terrence Mann in general is stepping up. Excuse me, as one of the best young players in the league. Reggie Jackson knows his role. You know what I mean? Even though Serge Ibaka's not playing yet, you got Nick Batum playing his role. You got again Tyronn Lue. He has a comfortable situation right now. You know,
the team is functioning. Like, it makes sense right now, and
it makes sense.
And beforehand, I've said this before about the Clippers. Since Kawhi and Paul George got there, it's talent packed, but it never looked functional. Like, they were winning because they were talented, but they didn't look like a functional team compared to other guys they had to play, especially when they got into the playoffs, and it showed. The teamwork wasn't there. Like, the ball movement wasn't the same. Kawhi kind of disappears a little bit.
Yep.
When he has to face big guys who he doesn't want to have to go up against a lot. I mean, I never really understood the setup because I never thought those two guys made sense together.
Yeah.
In the first place.
Well, they were trying to do like people compared Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and okay, yes, I get it. Because one can score like Jordan and the other can lock down like Pippen. I kind of like disagree a little bit, because Scottie Pippen in general was a different breed, back in the day. You know what I mean? I feel like
he was.
Paul George is not where Scottie Pippen was as a defender. He's a better scorer than Pippen, obviously. But even Kawhi's not on Jordan's level, but he does Jordan things. But
he's nowhere near Jordan's level.
Nowhere near. So
nowhere near.
This group, this duo has been together now going on 3 years, I believe now. 3 years? Yeah, 3 years, I believe. Yeah, 3 years. And, obviously, I think you have to give it one more year because of Kawhi being injured. Because if Kawhi didn't get hurt, we might be saying the Clippers are in the NBA champions. We might be saying the Clippers are the NBA champions because, listen, Giannis and Kawhi in the finals, I think Giannis, it would have been too much for the Bucks because Paul George is now you're putting Paul George in the finals. Now that's a different type of level. Kawhi's been there. Tyronn Lue's been there as a coach, and a player. You know what I mean? And then you just the rest follows. So I think that series would have been more intriguing to watch. But I feel like, and then we said it offline here, man. What if the Clippers have to think about trading Kawhi Leonard and
and that's another thing for me. If it comes down to you having to say we have to get rid of one of these guys for this to work, who do you trade? Do you trade the guy who's on the 7-game winning streak, who looks right now to be a better leader on that team than Kawhi's been?
Yeah.
Or do you trade the guy who you brought in to be the king? You wanted him to take the throne from LeBron. Let's be honest.
Right.
Everyone was like, there was a little bit there where everyone in the league thought Kawhi was LeBron's kryptonite.
Right.
They quickly learned that he's not. That no one is LeBron's kryptonite. LeBron is LeBron.
Yeah.
But still, Kawhi is an excellent player, and I'm not taking that away from him. But Kawhi had to get away from King James to win a ring. Okay, he had to go into literally Canada to get away to get a ring. And then everyone started being like, he can take the throne. He can be the next guy. No, he can't.
He can't.
Like, I never thought that about Kawhi. I've always thought Kawhi's been a great player. I loved his defensive presence. I loved the way he played both ends of the court. I never thought once that he was going to be the next guy. All right?
Yeah. And so the Clippers, man, they are sitting. What is it? 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 6 in the West right now. In the West, they're 8-5. pulled up a stat here, and I think let's see, yeah, Paul George averaging 26.5 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a stat that really intrigues me: 8.2 rebounds a game.
Mm-hmm.
That means he's actually putting the emphasis on that, rebounding the ball, and 5.2 assists. I mean, that's MVP numbers, man.
Those are MVP numbers.
And I say, if the Clippers, and it's, looking at the standings right now, you got the Jazz, who are 8-5, same record as the Clippers. The Mavericks 8-4, Nuggets up third place, Suns are second, Warriors are first. If the Clippers could get into that top 5 range, man, we're looking at Paul. And if Paul George, if healthy, because again, it'd be a random injury Paul George can probably have.
Yeah.
But if he stays healthy and he can get this Clippers team to at least the top 5, I mean, listen, you got to look at Paul George as being an MVP because, yes, Steph Curry, we see he is tearing up the league.
He's going off.
He's going off. We're gonna get into that Warriors bunch too. But I feel like it's a tough task for the Clippers, but it's not far fetched because again, like you said, they're 3 games out of the first place and 3 games in the loss column. So I feel like anything's possible week by week. The NBA, everything changes. 2 teams can have a bad week. The Clippers can really continue to go there. And Paul George, shout out to Paul George, man, because he's been very impressive. And that Kawhi Leonard situation, man, they're gonna have to really take a look at that because, again, coming off, I believe, an ACL injury.
Yeah,
that is tough to come back from. And Kawhi, I'm not sure what his age is right now. I'm pretty sure he's like in his 30s, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's 32.
He's that old? Okay, 32?
I think he's 31, 32. Well, Paul George is 31.
Yeah, Paul George is 31. We'll look that up, but
And I'd like to correct myself real quick. I said MVP year earlier. I meant MIP, that most improved player year.
Most improved player.
Yeah, when everyone realized that Paul George was going to be a guy in the league.
Oh.
Yeah. I had to correct myself. He hadn't won an MVP yet, but he could. I'd like to see him win one.
But then that's what I'm saying. Like with these numbers, let's say he can get 2 more points, add 2 more, like 28 points a game.
Yeah.
Man, and imagine if he can average 9, maybe 9.5 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
And then maybe get into the 6 range in assists. Come on, man. Come on. But even these numbers now that he has is MVP worthy.
If he keeps those numbers, okay. And let's say Kawhi comes back, it doesn't work. He maintains those numbers, and they decide to trade Kawhi, and then he takes that team on a deep playoff run. Could you tell him he's not an MVP?
And that's what I say. I feel like, and a lot of people's always thought about. I want to get your thoughts on this. Like, do they give the MVP award too early? Like,
I think so.
Should they do it in playoffs? They should do it to see how people play in the playoffs. Like, let's say if a player gets their team to the second round, or the third round, which is the conference finals, then make your decision. I feel like, even though they haven't been giving out MVP awards to like guys that haven't made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they've been consistent on that, but I just feel like it's a little too early that they give. Even though last year, the Joker, he lost in the first round, but he played every game in the COVID year, so he deserved that.
I think he earned that one last year.
He earned that one last year, and you can see people are testing him now because, man. I mean, do you think that was a little?
Keith, watch your ass, okay? You found the wrong guy.
Do you think that was a disrespectful play that the Joker did, or do you think he just retaliated from?
I think he just retaliated. I watched that clip multiple times. What the hell was Markieff Morris doing? Okay, like you didn't have to hip check him. The clock was running out. He had just passed the ball. The quarter was over, and you still slammed your hip into him. Because you could, okay.
Could have cracked his ribs.
Because that's the Morris brothers, okay. Like that's how they play. They are rough and scrappy, and they try to get underhanded plays. Be careful doing it to a 7-foot monster of a man, okay? Like you can pick a fight with a 6'3" guard all you want, okay? Try picking a fight with that guy and see what happens.
So I think, right, I think the Joker did the right thing.
Yeah.
I would have said, "Hey," got his attention,
Yeah.
and then possibly pushed him because
Mm-hmm.
he did give him whiplash. And at the same time, Markieff Morris, you asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
You
And it
know what
happened really fast. Like it
it
wasn't
happened
like it
really
was
fast. Yeah.
premeditated. He hit the Joker, and Joker turned around and nailed him. Like,
And nailed them, yeah. So, and now his brother Marcus Morris, said noted, and
yeah,
then the Joker's
sure,
brothers retaliated. They said, listen, they even bought the next tickets to the game that they're gonna play against the Heat.
yeah,
I just hope nothing happens because we're not gonna promote violence here. But at the
no,
same time,
no,
listen, man. I mean, I love that the NBA is back to where it should be, like the
yeah,
physical
gritty.
play,
Like
gritty.
when Miles Turner and Rudy Gobert got in a fight, which I was like, this looks like two elephants trying
Yeah,
to
ain't
like.
nobody gonna fight.
No,
Nobody gonna fight. Like, and then I think last night or the night before, Dwayne Dedman from the Heat, he was about to get into a Rudy
yeah,
Gobert, and he said, "I'm not Miles Turner."
yeah.
I
I love what Rudy said after that. He was like, anybody who thinks they can fight in this league are idiots. Like, you have
right.
30 guys on security come out there and pull you guys apart in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
No
and he said
fight
you he
actually
said
gonna
he
happen.
said you know how to get to me if you want to fight me.
Yeah. Like,
You know how
come
to
on
get to
now.
me. Yeah, but I love it. I love it. I love where the NBA is. I love that players are calling out each other out.
Hmm.
Marcus Smart, sorry, calling out Tatum a few weeks
How do
back.
you actually feel about that as far as a team
Man,
dynamic goes?
I mean, what, calling out your own teammates?
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
feel
I like it, but
mhm.
I'm not sure he should have done it so publicly. I'm like,
Agreed. Keep it in house, but at the
yeah, keep it
same
in the locker room.
keep it in the locker room, but at the same time, you know, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown,
Mhm.
they haven't had that before. For the past few years since they've been in the league, they've been babied a lot. They've been really babied a lot.
It's
Every
because they're both so freakishly talented.
freakishly talented, but the excuse has always been they're still young.
Yeah.
They still need this. They still need that. Takes time. Listen, they got
You're
their
not
money.
you're not any younger than Luca, okay?
You're
And
not
look
any
at
younger than
Luca.
look at John Morant.
You're not younger than
He's
John.
going for it. He's going
Yeah.
for it.
I mean,
Come
you're
on,
not
man.
any younger than Trey Young.
Come on, man. You see what he's doing, and it's just like, you know. And we can even get to the Celtics. They are pissing me off, man. Like they and it's to the point where it's like it's not the coach. It's not the coach. Ime Udoka, this is his first year as a head
Mhm,
coach, but like all year so far, he's been preaching this team has to be tougher. They have to. They
mhm.
have to. They have to. And he's called out Jaylen Brown. He's
Yeah.
called out Tatum. Not as much, but he's gotten to these guys like, listen, this is a new sheriff in town. I'm gonna do certain things differently that Brad did because I feel like Brad Stevens babied them a lot. He
Yeah.
always took the blame every time they lost. He didn't really put it on certain players.
Mhm.
I feel like it should be a partnership, be equal, like 50-50. Like players take ownership, coaches take ownership. But I feel like the Celtics, man, them losing against the Cavs, blowing a 19-point lead.
Yeah.
Um, and I get it. Basketball is a game of runs.
Yeah.
You're gonna have those times, but like the Celtics, man, they need to stop acting like they're this high team right now where they can afford to lose a 19-point lead and lose a game like this. Because
Mhm.
guess what? They're 10th in the East right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's early, but like, come on, man. And I get it. No Jaylen
And
Brown.
especially in that Cavs game, the Cavs were taking that lead back, playing one way, and you guys never adjusted to do anything
Never
about it.
adjusted.
Okay, they just started scoring in the middle more, and you guys couldn't figure out what to do about it. Like Evan Mobley started having a game, he started
Yes.
scoring, and he doesn't have a ton of range. Okay,
Right.
he was playing a lot of up close, really really nice shots. I'm not taking that away from him. I love a high percentage shooter. Okay, take a high percentage shot.
Yeah,
You ain't
yeah.
got to go to the 3-point line.
Yeah, I
Get
got
the
to.
easy basket.
Right.
I love that kind of basketball. But for some reason, you guys never adjusted. And I thought the leadership problem would be solved when oh shoot, I forgot his name. I just lost it.
Marcus Smart?
No. The center.
Horford?
Yeah, Al Horford. Thank you.
Yeah.
When Horford came back, I thought the leadership problem would be solved in that because he's always been that kind of presence where he's that quiet, big, you guys follow me, we're going to get through this sort of thing.
Right.
It's not working like I thought it was going to when he came in.
It's not. And I thought about this a few days ago, and I know I've been saying, yeah, Ben Simmons, come here. That would be great, but listen, Jaylen Brown brings up some leadership. Jaylen Brown brings some leadership, and he, yes, he's the leading scorer on this team right now, but he's very vocal. It would suck to lose that because Ben Simmons hasn't shown that he has that leadership skills.
Ben Simmons is a mouse in a 6'10" body.
So imagine again, I still believe, and I'll keep saying, if that trade does happen, I'll be like, okay, word. But I'll be concerned that the leadership leaves because what if the media is attacking Ben Simmons again in Boston? Because people don't understand. Yes, Boston, man, is hard. It's hard to play out here in Boston.
Not every player who comes in is Larry Bird. Okay.
Exactly. Or Antoine Walker or Paul Pierce.
There's a lot of banners in those rafters.
Oh my gosh, man.
You got to deal with that. Okay. Ben, are you really going to come in there and try to play on the same court that Kevin Garnett played on?
Oh my God.
Like how are you going to do that?
And shout out Kevin Garnett. He just had dropped a show. It's called Anything's Possible, I believe. A documentary. Sorry, I gotta go watch that. I think it's on Showtime. But yeah,
they had these very tough, and that's been like the Celtics way. Has been this tough, hard-nosed basketball.
Yeah.
For as long as I can remember, you guys have played like this. We're going to let you know we're on the court every night. All right.
Right.
You're not getting that same energy right now.
No, we're not.
Which is bizarre to me because I've never seen a Celtics team that didn't at least come in with some form of like hard nose. You're going to be scared of me by the end of the night kind of basketball.
I just, like I said, they're 10th in the East, and let me check the score right now because they're playing the Cavs again, and let me see. Watch it be a 40-point lead. Oh, okay. So it's tied right now, third quarter, 52-52.
Okay.
I kind of like that they're doing these, these little mini series, like playing back-to-back games.
Nice. Those are fun.
Those are fun. Nice little playoff stuff. But going forward, man, I'm gonna pop out their schedule because I want to get your input on like how do you feel like the Celtics would do. So their next few games, man, they're playing against y'all out there in the ATL. That's Wednesday. Right. This game in particular on Friday, they're playing against the Lakers at home. LeBron is coming back. I believe so. I heard that LeBron is trying to come back this week. And of course, he would come back against us because LeBron loves coming to Boston.
He loves coming to Boston.
Dropping 30, 10, and 10 and leaving there with a win. But the Celtics, man, they got the Hawks on Wednesday. They got the Lakers. I am not going to sleep on the Thunder because let's wake up. The Thunder are 10th in the West. They're 5-7. And the reason why everybody down keeps saying, this team is 10th or whatever is because the play-in tournament's real. So
that's the youngest roster in the NBA too. They're only going to get better as the season goes.
And they're not scared of nobody. Not scared of nobody. So that can be a possible
picking fights with Russ, which I love it. Okay, get out there and let them know.
Look at this. Thunder, they have the Thunder at home. That could be a loss, and that's a back-to-back. That is they play the Lakers that Friday, and have to play the Thunder on Saturday. That might be a loss. Playing against a young Rockets team, they're 1-13, but still, Jalen Green is real. That Houston team is real. They got Brooklyn, KD. We know about KD. The Spurs. I don't know if they can beat the Spurs. I just don't know.
That's hard to say. That's hard
I just don't know. And then they play the Raptors. We know the Raptors. They are tough. They got the Sixers,
They're
Jazz,
7-7 right now. The
Blazers.
Raptors.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
The Raptors are 7-7 right now, right? They're
Yeah,
pretty
7 and
high on the
7.
board.
They're ninth in the East. So hearing all that, man, I am not confident that they can go on a tough losing streak right now. And so
Atlanta's coming off a win. So
and
it's going to be.
of course, they're coming off a big win against Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And now Trae Young's feeling himself. Man, shout out Trae Young. He balled out.
He balled out.
He balled out last night. And I just love that. I loved his post too. He said back at it or something like that, or something in that nature. And that's kind of made me nervous. So I'm like, oh, this is angry Trae. This is angry Trae.
Yeah.
This is swag.
He's waving at you.
He's gonna start waving. I think that's what I said offline here before we went on. I said, listen, this is the game. That's the game that the Hawks needed. They needed to win that big game against the Bucks because that was a revenge game. And I feel like how they've been playing, that was their best game of the year so far.
It was. And what's weird is like we lost DeAndre Hunter that game, but we played out of the ceiling while he was gone. Okay, I don't understand why he doesn't fit in the rotation. But
he just gets hurt so much, man.
He does, and it throws off the dynamic. Put Herter in, put Bogdanovich in, let John Collins get his 15-15, let Clint Capella get his 15-15.
Hold on.
Ice Trey cook.
Let me stop you right here, Reece, because you want to know why I'm stopping you.
Okay.
You're feeling good about Wednesday.
I am feeling good about Wednesday.
I am feeling good about Wednesday. You're right. You feeling good about Wednesday.
Here's the only thing that worries me about Wednesday. Okay, here's the only thing.
Why? It's against us. The Celtics.
Yeah, I know.
You're be scared of us.
Roster speaking, you guys have a better roster than us. At any moment, any guy on that team should be able to pop off and go off. Okay, you guys have two guys who are prolific stars, who are going to be great guys in this league for a long time. You have a great defender in Marcus Smart, who, if he just stopped trying to do everything else and just lock up people, he'd be good at it.
Let's be honest. Trae Young could drop 40 on Marcus Smart.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could. He's the best. I keep saying it. He's the best off-the-screen shooter in the league, okay? He needs no space off a screen to get the ball up.
And Reece, the Celtics switch everything. So if Robert Williams is on Trae Young, what do you think Trae Young is going to
cook you?
Oh my God! so and that's to my point. Listen, am I a little worried about the Hawks? Yeah, but at the same time, I'm so big on experience, and what they experienced last year. I think now it took them a while to like really realize. Oh, teams are. That's probably a curse when you have a great Cinderella year. Teams study you. That's why professional sports are so. I love it because you see the schemes and like how certain teams play that particular team, and teams are trying to figure out the Hawks. Yeah. But you can saw with the Bucks, even though the Bucks, man, they've been like that's a completely
different team.
They're a completely different team. They're not going anywhere this year. You could tell injuries are getting to them, but the Hawks, man, they need to really they're waking up now. I feel because now they're like, okay, we let out our stress. It's like a bad breakup, right? Yeah. You see your ex-girlfriend and you see her and you're like, let me just let out all these emotions out. Okay. Right now. All right. I said what I said. It's over. I'm done. Let's move to the future. We turning up. That's right. And that's what the Hawks literally just did. They got over their ex, which is the Bucks.
The problem with the Hawks was like last year in the playoffs, they were all like, we know who we are. And I was like, but now the whole league does too. You let everybody know.
They let all their bullets out last year, which is fine. It's playoffs. Yeah. They could have got to the finals.
Yeah.
So
they got hurt.
Great. And it's not Nate McMillan because Nate McMillan is a great coach, and it's not like they're not listening. I don't get the energy that the Hawks are not listening to Nate McMillan. I just feel like it's the players. They really need to wake up and understand that they are a great team as well. Yeah. You can't tell me you got John Collins, Capella, Trae Young, that big three.
Yeah,
is really good.
Yeah, and I think for them, they went so long being that underdog team in the East
Yeah.
that they came back into this year on an underdog mentality after going
Yeah.
to the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay,
Yeah, because they
you're
did
a
start
team
off
now.
slow last year,
Yeah,
right? They started off
yeah,
slow last year. They
and they
can't.
got in through the play-in last year. Okay,
Yeah.
and then they had to play the Knicks, and then they had to play the 76ers, and then they had to play the Bucks. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so then they were like, we're the underdogs. We came in, we beat them number one in the Sixers. We beat them in Philly. You're not the underdog anymore. Okay, everyone knows who you are now. All right, you put the whole league on notice last year. Now you
And
have
then
to deal with the consequences.
Trae Young has been getting double teamed a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
especially when Capella's setting those screens or whoever's setting the screen for him.
Mm-hmm.
The center and point guard are double teaming them. You can see that because they want to stop that floater. They want to stop that. They want to stop him coming to the
Don't want to
lane.
get hot.
But man, Trae Young looked like playoff Trae last night against the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he pulling from the logo, and his swag. He's talking.
Yeah.
If he's yelling at the crowd, and he's like, "Let's go," it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is where Trae
This is
Young
about to get bad.
his
This is about
hair
to get
gets
bad.
all over the place. It's like, oh man, here we go. Angry Trae. I love Trae Young, man. He's great for basketball.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, and let's and again, that game I'm really nervous about on Wednesday because I feel like the Celtics. Let me check one more score. What do you think the score is right now before I check?
What was it? 52-52?
52-52. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's I'm gonna say
you can be honest too.
I'm gonna say 70-62 Cavaliers.
No.
No?
59-57 Celtics.
Okay.
Third quarter. It's a low scoring game.
Man, they just
oh my
playing
gosh.
a lot of defense.
The Celtics are going to lose when Enes Kanter is in right now. Okay. All right. Okay. That's bad. All right.
Maybe he's the change up. Maybe he's what you guys needed for the night.
So, right. Imagine that. So, we'll keep everybody updated with those games. But I really want to talk about, this Golden State team. This Golden State team, they took a loss last night against Charlotte, but they were on a good winning streak, and sometimes you lose, and they didn't even lose by that much. They lost by 4 points. That game was like I think Kevin Looney missed 2 big free throws at the end. So, but my question for you is, all right, can the Warriors continue this even when Klay Thompson comes back?
I'm gonna say yes. And here's why. They've been great, not because yes, Steph has been playing out of his mind, okay?
Right.
But one player can't win you games, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Their bench has been excellent.
Oh my gosh.
And their bench will continue to be excellent even when Klay's there because they understand their role. They're supposed to come out, they're supposed to maintain pace. This is us seeing Steve Kerr at his best, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Because he understands the importance of a bench rotation, okay?
Yes.
You just got to bring these guys in, and they've got to maintain the same level of energy as the guys going to the bench. You just got to bring it in, bring it out. It's a real ebb and flow to keep the game at the same pace you want it all night. And that's exactly what he does, okay? He's got that down. And you can tell from the guys he's picked up here and there, he doesn't go for like these huge targets to go on his bench. Like he's not going for like Rondo or guys like this. He picks these guys that he knows are going to fit his scheme.
Yeah.
He needs you to play this role exactly this way. Come off the bench, get these shots, get hot, run the court, run and gun it, keep it going. Wait till Steph gets back out there. Wait till Draymond gets back out there. Wait till Iguodala gets back out there. Just keep the pace of the game the same.
Yeah.
That's what's keeping them so good. And they'll maintain that same kind of pace once Klay comes in. Like Klay understands how to keep pace just as good as anybody else in the league.
Now I've been so conflicted on because like you said, man, they have been on a great run. Their chemistry is on point, the bench and the starters. Since it's Klay Thompson, do you start him or do you have him come be a bench person? Because
Oh, you start him. You
you
got to
start
start
him.
him. You got to start him. And
Jordan
here's
Poole
why I
man's
say that.
been balling.
Jordan Poole has been balling, and this is how I'm looking at this. Okay, if you let Klay start, all right,
Mm-hmm.
and you say to Jordan Poole, okay, you're in charge of the second unit now.
Nope.
You're the guy for the second unit. When you guys come out, you're the guy for the second unit. Take over the game when we're not on the court. When Steph and Klay come off, you're the guy. I think that dynamic will get hot. Okay. And I think it will run them not only into the playoffs, I think it could run them to a championship.
The fact that the NBA has reopened the Giant again, like you shut off them, like they had. I think people tend to forget that the Warriors had a 5-year run to the finals.
Yeah,
a 5-year run, and yes, the Dragon finally got killed that one year. He had to lay down for a little bit, and now they're back. They have risen. Actually, it's been 2 years because last year unfortunately, they didn't make the play-in games, but they were elevating because that first year after KD left, they were like a lottery team, and then the next year, like I just said, they lost in the they didn't make it to the play-in tournament. But even last year, they were playing really good basketball, and now they're on a different level right now without Klay and Wiseman.
Yeah, and Steph somehow at 33 is playing some of the craziest games I have ever seen. Okay,
and it's crazy, man. And
how are you that hot this early on?
And I was looking at him while I was watching some of his games, especially these last two. I'm like, man, Curry's really getting old. You could tell, but not on his play. But I'm just like his face, like you could tell he's getting older. Not old, he's getting older. But I'm like, he still has a good 5 or more years of dominance because he's gonna slow down.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know if he's gonna slow down because he looks in great shape. Yeah.
My thing has always been about Steph. He doesn't play hard-nosed basketball. Like the way he plays, he doesn't get beat up a lot.
I agree.
He plays outside the perimeter, and he just destroys you from the line all night. All right, and nobody in the league's trying to foul him because send that guy to the free throw line. His shooting percentage is insane.
Listen,
okay,
the Warriors. Now they got to stay healthy. And I'm really hoping they stay healthy because I really want to see the Warriors back in the playoffs. That crowd, that crowd is so crazy in Golden State in the playoffs. I would love to see it. Listen, and guess what, everybody? The trade deadline is real in the NBA. So the Warriors, they will still even make a trade even if they're playing well.
Yeah,
just to get better. Now, again, everything has to come together. Klay Thompson, the thing I'm worried about, the reason why I'm still a little iffy about him starting is because of his past injuries. Is he the best? Is he one of the top defenders still? You know what I'm saying? Will he be? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's still to be determined because he hasn't played. Because again, the shot's gonna be there. Yeah. But listen, those injuries, the Achilles and then the ACL, it's just that's a lot, man. And that you really need to. And then listen, these young guys in the NBA are fast. Klay, I saw a stat. I didn't see a stat. I saw a meme where it said Klay Thompson hasn't. The last time Klay Thompson played, and it showed like different pictures. Yeah. Chris Paul was still in Houston. Russell Westbrook was still in OKC. You know what I mean? It's just like
bizarre.
It's bizarre, right? Kawhi was in Toronto. It's like, man, we really haven't seen Klay in almost like 2.5 years. Yeah. So, I mean, what are we gonna get? What I do believe is Klay Thompson is gonna work his way through it. They probably won't start him in the beginning just to get his feet wet and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like, listen, the moment he has that one big game of like 25 points one game, Klay Thompson can drop 60. He has
easily.
Easily. He's by far one of the best shooters. He's up there with Curry. The
Yeah,
fact if you go shot for shot with Steph Curry, you're one of the best shooters ever in the world.
Yeah.
And I feel like Klay Thompson can do that in any given day. I feel like he's the only guy that's not scared in the league to shoot, to go one-on-one with him shooting. Yeah.
You're right.
I would watch that for an hour. No, you know what? Not even an hour. I would just watch it. If they do like a 7-game series, I'll watch it all day.
Yeah. But also, I remember what was it? Was it the year? I think it was the year of his injury where his contract, was coming to an end, and everyone was like, "You should go to LA." And I was like, "No. I never want to see the Splash Brothers not together. They're the most dynamic show in basketball when they're on the court."
They changed the game of basketball. Everybody wants to play like the Warriors, and now I'm loving this new version of the Warriors because they got some young bulls, man.
Yeah,
they got some young bulls.
My advice to everybody in the league right now: if Gary Payton Jr. coming down the lane, make a business decision and move. Okay.
Did you see that alley hoop Steph Curry?
Yes. Insane.
Oh my gosh. If someone was to say, listen, put the money up right now, would you say the Warriors are winning the championship this year?
Right now?
Right
put
now.
The money on it right now?
Or would you still give it to the Lakers?
No. I'd give it to the Warriors. Klay coming back, I'll give it to the Warriors.
Ooh.
This is why I said it. I love the Lakers. I love the guys on that team. Okay? You're old. You're injury prone. You can't shoot the three. They ain't gonna have that problem
or free throws.
Or free throws. Okay? Those are all things they got going on in Golden State. They've got a young roster. They can shoot the three. They're great from the line.
Coming in hot, our guy Dan saying the Warriors will not win the NBA championship.
Okay, Dan.
Dan, listen, and Dan, shout out Dan. I don't know, man. Dan, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Your picks lately, and you know what I'm talking about. It's been a little off, and I'm just saying from a different sport. If you know what I'm talking about, all I gotta say is Mac Jones, but we'll talk about that later on Thursday. But hey, listen. But on a serious note, Dan, man, you might have to really think about this because Steph Curry and the Warriors are playing out of their mind. They're number one in all categories right now, defensively and offensively. You add Klay Thompson coming back. You got Draymond holding the defense down. You got Wiseman coming back. You got a lot of
a lot of young guys with high motors who can run all night.
Young guys mixed with older guys. You got Iggy still. He's back. You know what I mean? You got Otto Porter.
He's so much fun to see in a Warriors uniform.
Oh my gosh! I never know how he
left.
It's to the point where Iggy needs to get a statue in Golden State.
For sure.
He needs to get a statue in Golden State because of what he was a big part. He's a big part of why they became who they became, because you had to have Iggy guard LeBron James in the finals, guard KD when KD was in OKC. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that Iggy has done for not just the Warriors, but the game in general of basketball. He's changed every team he's on, even with the Heat. They went to the finals in the bubble when he was there. He didn't play much, but he had that impact, that championship experience and energy. And this Warriors team, a lot of people are talking about them, but you know what I love about the Warriors right now? They're not falling into it. They're not feeding into it. They're not feeding into the media. They're just
playing basketball.
They're just playing basketball. They're just playing the right way. Steve Kerr has a swag to him. Oh, we got another one. Let me see. Long history of injury, especially with Klay fragile. I think Klay is fragile in French.
Okay, hold on. Dan, I'm going to ask you this. I get the point you're trying to make here. Who's going to challenge them? Okay, the Lakers are also injury prone. If they run up with the Suns, you're going to try to tell me that Devin Booker can stop Klay and Steph? You think if you put Chris Paul on one, who are you going to put on the other one? Because Devin Booker can't defend Klay Thompson.
And Chris Paul's older. He's older. He's getting older. I'm gonna read a list.
Who matches up with them other than the Lakers? Can the Lakers stay healthy?
So Reece, let me get your opinion on this. All right, we got the Warriors. They're number one.
Mm-hmm.
You just talked about Phoenix. They're number 2. They're on a 8-game winning streak. I think they're starting to get the flow of things. I think your Hawks need to get some advice from why the Suns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Suns were a Cinderella team too.
Yeah.
Get that swag. The Nuggets are number 3. They're on a 5-game winning streak. The Mavs are 4. Jazz are 5. Clippers are 6. Lakers are 7. Memphis is 8. Blazers is 9. And OKC has a chance to be in the play-in tournament at number 10. Out of those 10 teams, who are you worried about with this, like going against this Warriors team?
Okay, all right. This is going to sound weird, but a healthy Nuggets team could be their biggest problem. Because Michael Porter Jr., when he wants to, is elite in the scoring.
See, that's the thing.
And Jamal Murray healthy, he's going to be back this year, right? Like I know he tore his ACL, but I think he's going to be back this year.
Yeah.
And he'll be back late, which means when they get into the playoffs, he'll be fresh. He won't have played at all.
Yeah.
They don't have an answer on that team for the Joker.
Yeah.
Like Draymond, as great as Draymond is, how does he match up exactly with 7-foot tall Nikola Jokic?
Right.
That's the only team I'm really worried about. The Lakers are always going to be a problem, but I'm legitimately concerned about the Lakers' health. Like, the youngest guy in your starting 5, AD, is injury prone.
Yeah.
And the rest of you are all 30 plus.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron's already been injured once this year.
Yeah.
How does that? I don't see you guys staying healthy enough to win.
I would say they haven't, and this team hasn't been playing. They're on like a little losing streak right now.
Mm-hmm.
I still love Utah. I feel like if there was a team that can contend with the Warriors, it would be Utah, and I have one more.
Okay.
And they have to make some trades. Like add some more defensive guys and some shooters.
Okay.
Who could stop Luka on the Warriors?
That's a good point.
Because Klay played. I don't think Luka was in the league. Yeah, Luka's been in the league when Klay was in the league. But
they haven't played in the playoffs. Not against each other.
But since Klay has been gone, this is a different Luka.
It is.
This is fat Luka.
Yeah.
And fat Luka is really good. Really good.
Here's what I'll say about Luka. You're right. I don't know if they have an answer for him, but in return, if you put Luka on Klay, who gonna guard Steph? And if you put Luka on Steph, who gonna guard Klay? Like it's hard to stop them both if both of them get hot.
I don't know. I don't see anybody getting to this Warriors team as of right now. The Suns are creeping up right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they have to make some more moves. We got another question coming in from Dan. Did anyone expect that finals that we saw last year? Hey,
I thought the Bucks were gonna. I didn't think the Suns would be there, but I thought the Bucks were gonna be there. I thought Giannis had to get there last year, so people would stop talking about Giannis shrinking in the playoffs.
I think that's what they. And you're right, Reece. I think Giannis needed that monkey off his back because you see, look at his this year. The Bucks ain't doing nothing this year.
No, but last year he knew, he was like, I have to get a ring.
I have to take advantage of this moment. Yeah.
I'm back-to-back MVP.
Yeah.
I have a Defensive Player of the Year. I have to go get a ring. Otherwise, no one will let this go.
Yeah.
You can see that now.
And I wasn't expecting it. I don't think anybody was. But at a point, because last year was a COVID year for the NBA, and I feel like every team, I do believe, I think the Lakers didn't get COVID, but like, I think they just got hit with the injury bug, but like everybody else got hit with the COVID. And, I at that point, I was like, oh, yeah, you never know. The team that's going to be the hottest team going into the playoffs might be in the finals. Look at your Hawks. At your Hawks. They were ankle away, and I say ankle because Trae Young got hurt.
Yeah, because Trae Young got hurt.
Freaking ref! Like, what are you
if
stepping
Trae Young
on?
was healthy, I think we could have won that series. I don't think we would have beaten Phoenix though.
You don't think so?
I liked us a lot against the Bucks because we were everything the Bucks weren't. We were small, we were fast, we were really scrappy. Where the Bucks were big and a powerful team that kind of just took over the middle. We matched up a little too well with Phoenix for me. I was like, Chris Paul is going to take over with
His
experience.
Yeah.
No, we have nobody who can guard Devin Booker when Devin Booker gets hot.
But who on that team? Oh no, because Jay Crowder had experience in the finals with the Heat.
Yep.
But I think it would have been even because Chris Paul was, even though he's been in the league, but he's never been in that finals environment before. I feel like on the Hawks, was there anybody? No, there was nobody that had final experience with the Hawks. But I just feel like that would have been more exciting because I think at the end of the day, it would have been Trae Young versus Devin Booker.
Okay.
Because Devin Booker had a great finals.
He did.
But Trae, I just feel like because look at the crowd that came for the Hawks. Usually, the thing that is the Hawks' downfall is that no one comes to the games.
That's true. We've got no fan base.
So I have to ask you a question about that. Like, are tickets expensive for the Hawks games?
No, not as expensive as like Georgia Bulldog tickets.
So why is it that no one comes to the Hawks games?
Georgia has for a long time been a very strong football state.
Yeah.
And for you to get their attention in basketball, you'd have to win a championship. Okay. Like you'd have to get their attention by doing something. And we haven't ever done that. We have no banners. So there just hasn't been a reason for a fan base around here to get involved. Like we've had the Braves be great. Braves just won a World Series. We've had the Falcons go to the Super Bowl. Georgia's been a dynamic.
Sorry, I had to laugh at that.
Yeah, go ahead, laugh at it. You can. Georgia's been a staple of college football for a long time. So that's been kind of the focus. No one's really focused on basketball here.
But everybody showed up in the playoffs for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's because
I felt like people showed up, but I felt a lot more people could have showed up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
People started paying attention because 2 Chainz started paying attention. Okay, that's the reason that we got involved. 2 Chainz and Migos all got together. And wait, what's happening in Atlanta? They're like, hold on, what? The Hawks are winning.
Winning. And then you had the All-Star game, and I just felt like I ain't gonna lie, it hit me a little bit when y'all lost because I was like, damn, just that energy.
I wanted it bad. We were doing so well.
The energy in that game 5 or whatever it was. We talk about every time on the show, but that game 5 or 6, we always get confused too. Like, I don't know if it was game 5. Yeah, game 5 when Giannis was, because y'all lost in 6. Game 5 when Giannis was out, y'all had it. You can't let Chris Middleton drop. What, he dropped 50 that game or something like that?
I can't. He dropped something high. I don't remember the exact number, but he went off and we had no answer for some reason. And none of our guys could step up, even though Trae was gone. Nobody could fill in the gap for some reason. Like we had guys who had great series, who were doing well, and then the minute that it became apparent that the whole team was so reliant on Trae Young's leadership, because the minute he wasn't there, everyone forgot.
Everybody forgot how to play basketball.
The only person who kind of remembered was Kevin Huerter, but he can't win by himself.
Can't win by himself, and he's young himself. You would think they would have went over to Lou Williams, like, listen, Q, lead us. You've been here forever in this league, but Lou Williams.
Lou, could you guys wake up this team a little bit? We're a little young, but no one. Even those guys, I think, had bought in to Trae Young being the bad guy. Everyone was like,
yeah.
they were believing the fantasy a little too much, and then they forgot that they also have to be able to lead that team at some point.
Oh man, well, and you never know, because you look at the East right now. We got the Wizards at number 1. They're 9-3. Shout out to the Wizards. They're playing well. There goes my dreams of Bradley Beal coming to Boston. Thanks a lot.
I don't know how the hell that team works though. Like I don't understand it.
I feel like they win by luck, but like at the same time they like work. I don't know.
They're doing it too well. They have too much luck. Like I'm doing like,
it's like this is the year Bradley Beal is supposed to be frustrated and like ask for a trade for the Celtics.
And like somehow Spencer Dinwiddie have turned into a duo. How did that work? Like
I saw a crazy this actual page on Instagram is like it shows real news, like it's no fake news. It said that Bradley Beal is trying to get Jason Tatum into Washington other than Boston. No one wants to come to Boston. Because
no one wants to deal with the pressure.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in Boston too.
That's true.
With fans and stuff. Yeah.
But also, are you sure, Jason Tatum, do you really want to go play in a Wizards uniform? Hold on.
Oh man, you don't even look good in a Wizards uniform. I know that's your boy. I know that's your best friend, Bradley Beal. And they're obviously better than the Celtics right now. But don't believe the hype. The Wizards can fall on their face too. Let's not get it twisted. So I when I saw that, I was like, come on, really? So we got the Wizards at number 1. The Nets are number 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls are number 3. The Cavs are number
Bulls.
4.
Watch out for them.
Watch out for them. I feel like they need one more piece to the puzzle. Like one for some reason, like they have a great team right now, but they just missing one more person. They're number 3. The Cavs are number 4. The Heat, they were number 1 in the beginning, and now they've fallen all the way to 5. The Sixers, they're falling on their butt because Embiid is out with COVID. The Knicks, number 7. Number 8. Raptors are number 9, and my trash Celtics are number 10. Let me let's get an update. Give me another prediction. What you think?
Oh shit. I don't know. I'm gonna say this. You guys better be leading.
Let me see. There you go. 80-72.
Okay. All
Celtics, right. 6 minutes left in the 4th.
Okay.
A
little close for comfort.
Listen, they came back from 19. If I wouldn't be surprised, and like I'm asking, like,
are you guys playing in Boston?
Yeah, so too. No, so both games were in Cleveland. They're doing it because I think it's because of COVID. They're trying to work on that, like do back to backs, which is smart. Smart.
Makes sense.
But me reading that list, man, for me, man, I'm comparing it to the West. I just don't know who is. Have you noticed, Reece? Like all these sports, man. Like even football. You look at football. Like these teams are just. It's just every week. Teams are
shifting up and down. Constantly.
What is going on? Like
I think it's because, and this is crazy for me to say that I think this is the first time in both the NFL and in the NBA that every team is just a little bit competitive. Everybody has a chance to win at some point in the week, except for Detroit. Don't count on Detroit. Forget about Detroit. Okay.
I felt so bad that they had tied that they had over. Oh my God. So you're 0-8, you're 0-8-1. That's like, damn, come on, man.
I mean, damn.
I was like, NFL, just give them the win. Come on, they worked their butt off.
Just let them have it. Just let them have it.
Damn, that sucks.
And Falcons Twitter is picking on itself, like posting pictures of the score. They're like, we know.
Hey, quick note. It's crazy that the Celtics are going to Atlanta, and then the Patriots we're playing y'all this Thursday. That's crazy. Yeah, that's really cool.
Hawks, please get a win because we're not going to win the football game. So at least somebody get me a win, okay?
Yo, listen. Even if the Falcons go 28-3, I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay.
It's fine.
Mac Jones got this. Listen, if y'all let us come back from 28-3. Again, it'll be.
I'm gonna exercise the team. Okay, we're gonna move them to a different state. St. Louis, you want the Falcons? You can have them. Okay,
this is twice. So that's interesting to me that both, New
Yeah.
England teams are going up, to Atlanta. That should be a fun 2 days for the city of Atlanta. That's funny. But yeah, like, with these, like you said, man, look at the Thunder. If the playoffs started today, the play-in tournament, they have a chance to
To be in.
to be in. And listen, you got to be scared of this Thunder team. The Thunder beat the Lakers twice.
Yeah. Clearly, they've
Twice.
got the energy.
They got the energy.
I'm concerned about they're currently only beating teams by their energy. Like, they're not outplaying guys necessarily. They're just outrunning old guys long enough to score. Okay.
Right.
I'm like, you guys gotta strategize a little bit better, which comes with coaching and experience. And this is the youngest roster
in the league.
Like, it's gonna come together as the season goes along. These guys will get a little more experience playing. Stop pissing off Russell Westbrook. It's not gonna end well for you.
Listen. And I feel like, and we talked about it offline, if Kyrie comes back, because they clearly need Kyrie, even though they're 10-4. But you look, it's putting a strand on like KD in particular, because he's actually, it just came out, he's dealing with a shoulder injury. And that's big because you can't lose KD. And if Kyrie was there, think about it. They'll have a lot more blowout games where KD can rest. Yeah. Kyrie can do the work. James Harden can do the work.
They can do some of that load management with KD.
Yeah. And weirdly teams are not talking. The league's not talking about the Nets. I think that's where the net. I feel like that's how the Nets should be. The Nets should be under the microscope and not be talked about, and really just play basketball. And that's what they're doing. But I don't know. I mean, I know it's still early, but I'm looking at the standings. I just don't know who's going to come out of this alive. I mean, I'm not alive. Oh, that was very gruesome. But like, come out, this ain't Squid Game, but like, come out of this like really like, who's going to be on top? Because the Wizards, no one talked about the Wizards.
No. My biggest concern for the Nets is that when the playoffs get here, especially in the East, the playoffs physicality ramps up a lot, and both Harden and KD can get banged up, especially when the game gets more physical on them.
Yeah,
I would be concerned about them going up against the Knicks. Okay, because the Knicks are playing very physical basketball,
right?
Which is how they got beat out last year, is because they couldn't match up with the Bucks' physicality, and it wore them out.
Right.
I would be worried about that for them. But if they stay healthy, I don't see how the hell anybody matches up with their scoring. Like, that's
it'd be too much.
It would be too much. It's hard to overcome. Even if Bradley Beal and Spencer Dinwiddie have a great run, you guys aren't KD and James Harden.
You're not.
It's gonna be hard to figure that out. But the way to win, like, if to any team out there who's got the Nets circled on your calendar, the way to win, be physical with them. Okay, make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
PJ Tucker showed you how to do it. Okay, be physical with them.
Yep. Yeah, that's all you got to do. And the Nets, they're gonna be okay. And again, it's early, and plus, like I keep saying, man, the trade deadline is real. So, teams can really look for guys. And again, some guys can get released. You know what I mean? And then you got a couple guys you can pick up. So we're gonna hit the break.
Okay.
And we can get into the Lakers talk, and we can end it with some other stuff. All right. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. See everybody back.
All right. We back.
We are back, and listen, before we get into this Lakers talk, I'm gonna ask you one more time.
Okay.
Give me a prediction what you think the score is now. You can probably tell by my face right now.
Oh shit.
With the Celtics and Cavs.
With the Celtics, yeah. Okay, so the score last time was
80-72 Celtics.
okay. All right. So let me guess. It's 85-88 Cavaliers.
You're so close. The Celtics are up 87-83 with 3:36 left.
Oh,
This
damn.
is not looking good. This is
That's
not
a close game.
Oh my God. Ricky Rubio has 26. Now it's a 2-point game. Ricky Rubio just has 26 points. Osman has 23 points. Listen, the Celtics need Jaylen Brown bad. They need Jaylen Brown bad, and I just feel like it's just disappointing. It's really disappointing, and that the Celtics they can't keep a lead, and they're not, which leads to like what Marcus Smart was saying. Where's the accountability? Who's holding each other accountable? And it shouldn't be just one person talking out. And we'll see how this game ends. I'll ask you. I don't want to look at this game no more. I'm nervous. So we got the Lakers.
Okay.
We got the Lakers. Before you go, Reece, they are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are 7th in the West right now at 8-6. I'm gonna pull out a couple, just 2 losses that really surprised me for them. They lost against the Timberwolves a couple days ago.
Badly. Ant-Man playing good.
He playing really good.
He playing good.
I think a couple nights before that, they lost against the Blazers by 15. Anthony Davis came out saying in the press conference that they need more shooting, and they're not a championship level team right now, and they have to play like they want to be that championship level team. Carmelo Anthony's been their best player by far. That could be due to because LeBron has been out. But how do you feel about how this Lakers team? Because it seems like every week we're talking about them, and it seems like the common thing has been like, listen, they're just too inconsistent right now.
My problem with the Lakers is that I think the Lakers think they need more than what they've got right now. Like you just said, Anthony Davis said they're not a championship level team. They need more shooting. And that they're right. They do need to get another shooter in there, okay? But they also need to remember who all is on that roster.
Yeah.
All right. AD, you are a prolific player, okay?
Yep.
Carmelo Anthony is a 75 best player all time, top 75 of all time, okay? LeBron James, he is in the conversation constantly for the greatest of all time.
LeBron James.
You have a guy who's probably the biggest snub on the 75 team in Dwight Howard.
Yes. Agreed.
People keep forgetting that DeAndre Jordan's on that team.
Yeah, me.
I mean, you guys, for some reason, have like a power-centric roster, and yet you're trying to play like your guards.
Right.
Look at the Cavaliers, which I never thought I would have to say this to the Lakers, but look at the Cavaliers. They're winning because they're just owning the middle.
Yes.
Okay? And they're playing their basketball. You guys are listening to the media say, you guys need to be playing this way. You guys need more of this. And you believe it. Play your basketball. You're big. You're strong. You can dominate a lot of teams in the West because a lot of teams don't have the size you guys have. Play like that, okay? There's been a lot of teams who've been able to win with just one shooter, like Carmelo, when they're just dominant in the paint, okay? Which is all you have to do. Dominate, and the minute they try to clog the lanes, kick it out. Let somebody get an open shot. I don't understand why they're having an identity crisis this early on in the year. You should know who you are, okay? And this will get straightened out some when LeBron's back on the court because LeBron is gonna floor general this. He knows what he's doing, and he will straighten them out and he will make them understand we're the Lakers.
Right.
But right now, for some reason, hearing Anthony Davis say that lets me know that Anthony Davis forgot he's Anthony Davis.
Right.
You shouldn't be saying we need more shooters. You should be saying I should be playing better.
The sad part is that, and this is why LeBron James hasn't gotten a break. This is why he leads the whole NBA of all time in minutes played, because the moment that he gets taken out a game or he has to take a break, just resting his body.
Yep.
Because I think that ultimately that's what he's just doing. Like, he might be hurt, but like you see him posting stuff on Instagram. This man's taking a vacation in LA. You know what I mean? And which is fine. He deserves it. But like the fact that he can't even breathe without worrying about his team every play, every game, not playing the right way. So LeBron, like you say, he's going to straighten it out, but I'm going to hit you with something, right?
Okay.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Okay.
It's not going to help them shooting.
Okay.
But you got to get Ben.
I agree.
Westbrook for Ben.
I think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense for the 76ers because I don't see how Russell Westbrook fits.
That would be horrible.
It would be a horrible fit.
Yeah.
But Ben Simmons could fit that team in LA. I think he's a defense-centric guy who's a skilled passer and he's big.
Well, he's LeBron 2.0, and that's why they got Westbrook because they wanted.
Well, LeBron's a better scorer, but
he's a better scorer. But the reason why they got Westbrook was because they wanted LeBron more off the ball. But clearly, you can't trust Westbrook with the ball.
Nope.
You could trust Ben Simmons. Now,
Ben Simmons pass it even when he doesn't need to.
Right. So you can't complain about that. No. And Lakers fans will take it easy on you because guess what? Do the Lakers fans really have to be at this game? They're in LA. You know how much stuff you could do in LA.
And plus, you're not going to be the biggest. You're like the fourth biggest name on that team if you come to LA. Okay, it's like LeBron, AD, Carmelo, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo.
Come on.
I mean, you're not going to be the main focus on this team.
They love Caruso more than you.
Yeah, for real.
And Caruso plays with the Bulls. They'll still be cheering for Caruso. Come on, but I do like that because, like you said, it does give LeBron. It gives LeBron James a time to rest, and Ben Simmons doesn't really turn over the ball like that.
No.
And can you imagine him, LeBron, AD coming at you? What the hell? Now again,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? That's a championship team.
On that. How many bodies could you put out there? I mean,
you got to try it. And maybe we're just reaching because we want to see Ben Simmons in the league. I mean, he is in the league, but play.
I want to see him playing.
I want to see him playing, and I want him being in a winning environment. So, why not try that out? But I think honestly, that trade would be great for the Lakers and Westbrook because you could trade for Westbrook. Then you don't have to keep him. You can trade him again to a different team and see how that happens. But, I think this Lakers team, man, like AD said, though, on serious note, get Buddy Hield. Just get him.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
Just get him.
You would have one more shooter. Him and Carmelo could really destroy guys from the perimeter.
My gosh.
And AD and LeBron and I'd probably put Dwight Howard in there.
Oh yeah,
and have LeBron play point, and AD and Dwight in the middle, and Carmelo and Buddy on the outside. It would work.
I agree. It would work. It would work.
It would be very dominant in the paint, and you could. It would be a very go to the inside first. The minute they try to clog up AD, pass it out to Buddy or pass it out to Carmelo, and watch them rain a three.
Right.
There'd be no answer for all of that. But still, they should be winning more right now. Like that roster is too packed. Even if it's too packed, even if it's too heavily packed in one direction, like it's power centered. There's not a lot of skill players on it. That's a lot of power. You guys should be winning with all that power. That's how the freaking Sixers did it for years. Okay.
Yeah.
Before the Sixers had the guard unit like they have now, like Seth Curry and Tyrese Maxey, they had Embiid and they had Simmons, and they just went inside over and over, and they made people fear them. That's what the Bucks did.
Yeah.
The Bucks weren't a heavy shooting team. They were just like, hey, we're going to hand it to Giannis and get out of his way. Yeah, and Giannis
everybody move.
Giannis couldn't shoot if his life depended on it.
Right.
But he doesn't have to. He just goes to the basket over and over, and he's just so dominant that he can do it. You have guys on that roster who can do that, and you're not for some reason.
And they're losing against, like I said, like both. You can look at the both conferences, East and West, but obviously, Lakers in the West. But like all these teams in the NBA, I'm not. You could really look at maybe one or two, through maybe 4 teams in each conference, and be like, okay, I see them, but that team can still be beat. The Warriors, honestly, and we talked about them. The Warriors are the only team right now have proven that, listen, you really have to come to work and play them.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to just let you win and do whatever. Like that last game they lost against the Hornets. Guess what? That was their second loss of the season.
Yeah.
The second loss of the season.
To their roster. Like they understand. Lakers, take a look at the Warriors and see what they're doing. They could use pieces in other areas. They just don't have them, so they're making it work with what they've got, and they're winning.
And listen, I know this is some form of like tampering or whatever it is, cheating. But how about certain teams take a field trip to winning organizations? How about that? You know how certain teams do team
just
outings?
Go walk around.
Yeah.
Just listen to them talk a little bit.
A little field trip. You know what I mean? Have Steph Curry be the guide.
Yeah.
Here, this is where I won my first championship. Second, this is the reason why. Oh, here's where my future statue is going to be. Take a look. Hey, this is me celebrating over LeBron. Hi, LeBron. You know what I mean? It's just like,
go take a tour.
Go take a tour. You maybe learn something.
This is still, I keep on saying it, this is a testament to Steve Kerr's coaching.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Learning how to make what he has work. And this is also letting me know that Frank Vogel relies on LeBron a lot.
A lot. He's not saying it, but
he's not saying it.
He misses him.
He misses him. Because LeBron, the minute LeBron's on the court, LeBron's going to say, okay, this is what I've got. This is what I'm going to work with, and this is what I'm going to win with. Frank Vogel isn't making that adjustment right now.
He's not.
So he needs LeBron back because LeBron's the actual coach and honestly the actual GM.
In the GM.
Yeah, I mean he's in charge.
And the recruiter. Yeah. All the above.
He's the coach, the recruiter, the GM, the point guard, the power forward. I mean, the whole damn team.
And this is why I can see why people call LeBron the GOAT. Yeah. I can see it. He's not my GOAT. He's in my top 5. Yeah. But I just feel like I see why people argue and go hard for LeBron, and rightfully so. Like, listen, me being from Boston, we don't. A lot of people really hate LeBron in Boston.
Yeah, well, he gave you guys hell for a long time.
Of course, and thank you for the reminder, Reece. But
my bad.
It hits different when someone else says it. I respect LeBron because of who he is as an overall person. More than the athlete is real. You look at that. Look what he's done outside of the basketball court, outside of the basketball community. Look what he's doing in his own community. He gives back. He gives opportunity to his fellow peers and for others to shine. He has a school for for people. He has, now again, at the end of the day, we understand that LeBron is LeBron and he is up there financially. And, obviously we would love to be in that field as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, we over here. we gonna watch from afar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But on a serious note, like LeBron is one of the best players to ever do it. He has changed the game. He's changed how players think. He's changed how people control their own narrative. Listen, I want to be on this team. Get me to this team. I know there's a way, because you owners and other people, y'all are very sneaky around everybody. You know what I mean? And you look in my face and say you're gonna trade me, you're not gonna trade me, and then the next day you trade me. And that's what at what they're doing to Ben Simmons. Like, as this goes on with Ben Simmons, I'm really looking at the Sixers sideways and like, come on. Like, now again, Ben Simmons does have some part in it too, that he needs to own too. And I believe that he needs to go and have a press conference, and just so people can hear his story and see why he is in this spot. But ultimately, it goes to show you that no matter what, you know how people say it's just a game. Certain people take it too far. Look at Doc Rivers. Did he have to say that in public? No, he tried to reword and say, I didn't mean it. It was the heat of the moment. Listen, you could have made your way around that and not say Ben Simmons is not your championship point guard. And then Joel Embiid, he's been going in on Ben Simmons, which is crazy. I'm surprised they haven't gotten a fight. So it's just like, listen, like, no one cares about you. You gotta be your own boss and choose your own path. So LeBron James, man, you're great.
Yeah, and I've always said this. I'm a believer that Jordan is the GOAT. But I've always willingly said that as great of a pure scorer as Jordan is, LeBron James is the best utility man ever in the league, because he could fit any position, and he knew how to build a team around him. Like, we watched The Last Dance, we saw how problematic Jordan could be at times. Okay.
Yeah.
LeBron's not problematic. All right. LeBron knows how to get a team to work around him, even if there's barely anything there. Shout out to that last year in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Where he just makes it work. Like, he can make things work around him. I'm going to say this. There's going to be some people, even in my own family, who would be upset with me about saying this. But without Rodman and without Pippen, Michael wouldn't have that many rings.
Oh, yeah. It's a team effort.
It's a team effort. LeBron gets a team around him. Like, he knows how to do that. Michael didn't. Michael was problematic. Okay? People didn't want to come deal with Michael.
Look, it's showing in his ownership, though. Like, look what Jordan. That's why I feel like LeBron is going to be a better GM than Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan, what has he done as a business person? A business owner for the Charlotte Hornets.
He drafted
right
Kemba
now.
Walker.
Has he gotten into warm out?
He's drafted LaMelo. We'll see how that works.
We'll see how that works. It's working okay. It's working okay right now. But, like, what have you done for this Hornets organization? Like, and it shows, like you said, maybe people have offered, listen, Jordan, let me help you. Let me see if I can have some input in here too. Maybe we can do this together. But maybe Jordan, just like as a player, it's just about me. I need it. I need to do it. Yeah. And that is Pip and so you're Scottie Pippen. But is Scottie Pippen doing this on purpose because he's just trying to sell his book? Like, listen, Scottie Pippen, you said that you were as good of a player than Michael Jordan.
I saw that.
I'm like, Scottie,
no, you're
come
not.
on.
No, you're not.
Love you, Scottie Pippen. Yes, you're one of the GOATs.
Right. You're absolutely fantastic. Not Jordan. Not Jordan.
We know, like, we know who's gonna take that. We know who the world's gonna give the ball to with 5 seconds left. Yeah. Like, listen, Scottie Pippen. Even right now, if y'all were to play 1-on-1 right now, they're both old as hell. Michael Jordan's gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just and I respect that Scottie Pippen's calling Michael Jordan out. And yeah, the last dance just make it seem like Jordan was this goody two shoe and everybody else
Mhm.
was crap. Yeah, of course. Me being a Jordan fan, I kind of liked it, but at the same time, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, damn, why'd you say that, Jordan?" But that's
Yeah.
all you had to say, Scottie Pippen. You're going on this tour saying this and that, and you're bashing them. You're saying, "Oh yeah, there was another one." He said, "Oh yeah, what would you have played? What's worse, playing on a bad back or the flu game?" Listen, both suck, but listen,
Yeah.
the back pain sucks, but the
Yeah.
flu, man, Scottie Pippen, how about can you play in the flu game? That should have been a
Yeah.
reporter's question. Could you have won in the finals? What was I forget? Was it 102 degrees of
Yeah.
102 fever or whatever it was? Could
Yeah.
you have won that game in the finals? Come on, man, that's legendary. Who else do you know could do that?
I have no idea.
It's
I
the
have no
flu
idea.
game for a reason. It's called the flu game for a
Yeah.
reason. It's not called the bat game, Scottie Pippen. And
It
again, yes, that's credit to
because
you.
only
You put
Michael
well.
could do it.
Come on, man.
Scottie Pippen, I think you're fantastic, but I don't think you're as good a player as Kobe. Okay, so you ain't as good as
Oh,
MJ.
oh hell no. Oh
All right,
hell no.
no. Okay,
You
Kobe's
can't bet.
top three for me. A lot of
Oh my gosh.
people will
Oh,
say, a lot of people argue LeBron over Kobe. I argue Kobe over LeBron a lot. Okay, as
listen.
far as just a pure score, Kobe was just dynamic. Okay, we
Let's
remember
be
that
real.
81-point game. Oh, did we lose him? It's frozen on my screen. I don't know if he's still there on the stream or if I've. You know what? I'm just gonna keep talking. We're gonna find out. He'll probably be back soon. If not, um, y'all can start berating me about how I think Kobe was a better player than LeBron. But
All right, we are back. Sorry about that. Here we go. It's all good. It's all good. Continue. Listen, oh my gosh. Jalen Rose remembers that 81-point game. Nope. Can't debate that. Can't debate that at all. And let's be honest, LeBron doesn't have the Mamba mentality. Because if he did, he'll have 5 championships. Well, he has 4, but we can all argue as well. Those were kind of lucky for championships, because and again, I get it. Like we said, we're not going to be hypocrites here. Yes, we understand. Charles and Reese understands that you need to have a team to win your championships. But listen, if you're going to say that LeBron's better than Kobe, listen, Kobe had to earn his 5 championships like hard. Like he had to he won with Shaq and trying to really connect with Shaq on a teammate level. They exactly. But we also forget Shaq left and Kobe had to try to figure out and win it himself again. It took him like few years to learn that. And then he bounced back and won 2 with Gasol. He beat my Celtics in 2010. We did get him in '08, which I was happy about. But again, he had to really earn his championship. LeBron will go down real quick. You know, fast forward. Well, actually, no. People tend to forget. LeBron did get swept in the finals his first time in the finals against the Spurs. Um, he didn't get to the finals. Yeah, yeah. Just LA. LA. Of course. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah. And there's a lot of distractions. Yeah. What can you do, man? LeBron James fans are really hard. They're really hard to convince that there's other players better than him. But LeBron, again, this is no shade at LeBron. You're great. You're one of the greats. He's fantastic, and the league is kind of boring without you right now. But and we're wishing you a speedy recovery. Exactly. So you know, um, LeBron James, you're gonna be great, and you're gonna have a great career after basketball. We all know this. You have to get better in your movies, but that's here or there. No shade at Space Jam, but I'm like, see, and this is when people say this Space Jam was better than the first one. What is going on here? What are people thinking here? I've heard that a lot of times. Like what? Yes, was the CGI better? Yes, of course. This is 2021. I'm hoping it would be. You know what I mean? But listen, Space Jam, the first Space Jam is a classic. You can't take that away. You can't take that away. You cannot take that away. Come on, man. Michael Jordan was killing. Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ. Lola Bunny, man. I looked at her, I looked at Lola Bunny here. I'm like, oh wow. What you put on a few pounds, girl. Yeah, we got kids. Oh. Yeah. It just had to come out. It had to come out. It had to come. It had to come out. It had to come out. It had to come out. Hey, listen. Ooh, this is why we have fun on here. We gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. We were joking, guys. We were just joking. Or was it? I don't fucking know. Hey, just so at the end of the day, uh yeah, the LeBron James. Okay. Whew. Okay. So uh anything else, Reese? Okay. Whew. Okay. Okay. Oh, that one hit the soul. Okay. Listen, you know, overall, in my opinion, this is gonna our next episode next week. This is gonna be I'm pretty sure the standings in both conferences are gonna be different. Uh Maybe the Warriors stay on top, but I'm looking at this Phoenix Suns team. They are on an 8 game winning streak. They're right there with the Warriors at 9-3, and the Warriors 11-2. Clip, Clippers on a 7 game winning streak. So let's see what happens there. On the East, I think the Nets are going to take over that first place with the Wizards. I feel the Cavs just lost. Yes, the Cavs lost. Celtics win. We got to win 98, 92. Thank you for yeah, so, that's good, but the Cavs are still in a nice 4th place right now. But I think this will change by next week, and it's exciting. It's good to see the Wizards at number one. It's good to see the Warriors back to where they are. It's good to see that teams that where everybody was talking about, oh, this is going to be, the 2 teams or 4 teams are going to be in the top uh lead in the division. But again, this is exciting to see, and I'm waiting to see what happens next. But again, this is why we're here. We're here to critique, but have fun on here and just give our opinions and really talk about movies. so yes. Again, anything else, Reese? Anything else? Last minute things. So oh yes, yes. Someone get John Wall out of Houston, and this could be really quick because John Wall needs to be out, needs to play. I don't know. I don't like that the NBA. I don't like that NBA does that to certain players where they just have them sit. You mean to tell me out of all these teams they don't want John Wall to be a part? Listen, the Thunder can use him. The Pelicans can use him. The Timberwolves. Can you imagine him on the Timberwolves? The Timberwolves can probably use him. Like, come on, man. This is John Wall here. This is John Wall. So get him in a oh my gosh. And right. And his contract is big. His contract is tough. That's why certain teams are not trading for him. I just think, John Wall needs to he's still an important player to the league. I don't want to see John Wall in like the big three or anything like that. That's no shade at the big three, but it's just like John Wall needs to be playing in the league and just dunking on people and bringing that injury. He had a great season last year with the Rockets. Just he brought a different level to that team, and I'm surprised that John Wall didn't want to play. I get it; they're rebuilding, but I think with him and Jalen Green, that would have been something to watch there. Uh, but get him, yeah, right, yeah, 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 yeah. No, so much technology now. It's not. Yeah, yeah. So, he's still with the Rockets. I know his job, one of his jobs right now is to mentor Jalen Green and all those young guys in Houston. That's good, but like, come on, man. I did see a clip that he's still practicing and playing one on ones and stuff. So he's staying in shape and getting ready. For, hopefully, gets a call in the near future. But you know, uh, let's get him back in the league. Episode 4. We did it. It's been a pleasure. It's always a great time on here. Again, we don't take ourselves too serious on here. We just joke and have fun, and just give our opinions of the game of basketball. Um, and we're gonna keep this train rolling. We're gonna keep this train rolling. We're gonna keep this train rolling, and yeah, yeah. Come on, man. This is all jokes. Lola Bunny, shout out Lola Bunny, man. She Hey, Reece, another one down, brother. Everybody tune in. Shout out everybody again. Like Reece said, shout out all supporters. Shout out Nuff Talk, aka Cody. We appreciate you, man, for supporting us as well. And we're gonna have fun on here. And let's enjoy it. And then see y'all guys back next week. All right, man. Let's get it going. All right.